Hi, my name is Lex. I may not be a financial advisor, but I do know quite a bit about money management. Many magicians are not the greatest with money management because they lack a financial education. Some have many years of practice from their business, from doing it over and over again. Some have not attended schools. I went to business school, and I hope that what I have here can help you. Now, there are many things that a lot of magicians don't do when it comes to their magic business, and this also applies to musicians and other forms of entertainment, jugglers, aerialists, circus performers, etc. And one of the most important things is establishing a corporation versus a sole proprietorship. Now, you may be wondering why you should have a corporation versus a sole proprietorship when you have to pay dock money to the state of California and the taxes are different. And the reason is actually very, very simple. Even if it costs you $2,000 to incorporate into an LLC, you pay less taxes and you have the liability protection as soon as you file your articles of state. That's one thing I learned from a lawyer that taught me in business school. He said the articles of incorporation are the documents that make the difference between a sole proprietorship and an LLC. And a sole proprietorship does not have a legal protection. It is the same as yourself in person. It may have an EIN number, but also a LLC and an S Corp and a C Corp do as well. The difference between an LLC and a sole proprietor when it comes to a lot of things, especially when it comes to funding, and that's the biggest key factor here when it comes to making a gazillion dollars or having unlimited potential, is an LLC is eligible for business credit through having something called a Duns and Bradstreet number, where a sole proprietorship may have an EIN, but it does not have a Duns and Bradstreet number. A Duns and Bradstreet number is the fourth credit bureau that looks to your future based off your profit and loss statements, where the companies like Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, each one of those look at your past. So when you start an LLC for the first 1 to 3 years, it's going to base it off your personal credit score until they're completely separate because it hasn't been in business long enough. So the first three years of an LLC is like having a sole proprietorship. But when you hit that third year or the fifth year, then you can actually get business credit. And if you talk to some banks, they'll give it to you the first one. Divvy, or Budget it's called now, or Bill I think it is one of the best companies that gave me my first prepaid credit card, where a lot of other companies such as Chase and the others did not, because I had my Duns and Bradstreet number. But you can only get a Duns and Bradstreet number if you have your articles of incorporation filed. And you cannot have those articles of incorporation unless you are an LLC. Now, you may have a number of expenses that may suck, but writing the cost of your LLC to the state, like the cost to incorporate, that $2,000 that you may get through a company like Harvard Review or LegalZoom, that money is tax deductible, not a credit, which is not the same thing. Make sure you know the difference. Tax deductible and credits are not the same thing, but it is deductible because it is an expense. Just like a cell phone for business is an expense, a computer because you do your work on there, your car, assuming it is a company vehicle. And the benefit of having an LLC is if you have that Duns and Bradstreet number, is you also are eligible to use your business credit, not your personal credit, in order to finance things. Now, the first couple of years, they may ask for your personal credit score. I wouldn't personally guarantee it because, well, what's the darn point, right? I would rather just find another bank that actually looks at the fact that the law is an LLC or a sole proprietorship. So if someone asks me to personally guarantee something, whether it is a business loan or a rental loan, I won't do it because that's not the point of having an LLC. You pay $2,000 so that it is separate. But the only way that you really get those differences is if you have a Duns and Bradstreet number. But you can only get the Duns and Bradstreet number through having the articles of incorporation filed. So go on to LegalZoom or Harvard Review, something like that, and get your LLC established, because for the first 3 years, it's just going to be numbers on paper. But after those 3 years go, then you're established and eligible for business credit, because company will lend you $1 million based off of your LLC's profit and loss statements, but your LLC, not you, because your Duns and Bradstreet shows your profit and loss statements plus your past numbers plus your taxes. But a company, let alone a bank or a financial institution, will not lend you $1 million for a house unless you're making that much in salary. The other benefit in LLC is that you can write off more as expenses than you can if you're a sole proprietorship. So remember, both LLCs and sole proprietorships have EIN or employer identification numbers, but only an LLC or a corporation, not a sole proprietorship, has the Duns and Bradstreet number. And that Duns and Bradstreet number is what makes the difference of whether or not but your company is eligible for business credit, which is separate from you. So if the business plan does not work, you don't have to pay it back because you did not guarantee it. But they won't give it to you unless they truly believe that your business plan is solid, because they don't want to really be with you for more than 5 years. Like Shark Tank, they want to pull out after 5 to 7 years, because there's no point in staying with that. They got their profits, they want to pull out. And it shouldn't take you that long to make a loan. Now, if you have an LLC for business credit, most banks and companies will require you to, after a prepaid, which you get through Divvy or Budget. Now, DM me directly or check out a link that I'll try to post in my bio for a link, and you can sign up for it if you have an LLC, and I'll even talk to the portfolio manager myself based off of how long you've been in business, and I'll make sure that you get at least $250 to start. And the benefit of using Divvy, or expense/bill as it used to be called, Divvy, is that based off of your progress performance, you can be eligible up to more. You start at $250 in prepaid, and if you've been around long enough, they'll even help you up to $4 million. $4 million. Do you have any idea what you can buy with $4 million in inventory, pay your people? But you have to show that you are good for it, and your numbers have to show it, so get an account to do so. So remember, Duns and Bradstreet is what makes the biggest difference, and it's important to have an LLC, because you may have it today, but you may have to wait until a year such as 2026 to 2027 to make sure that you actually get that business loan that you don't have to co-sign for. My name is Lex the Illusionist. This is Magic Capital Business Consulting. My name is Lex. I hope this is very, very helpful. If you enjoy this, please subscribe to the video, and make sure to comment down below on any questions you have, and I'll try to fill them up. I will be covering other things for magic, music, and other types of businesses, but this is the biggest part when it comes to finance and the type of business that you want to have. But also make sure that you do not have make sure you do not start an LLC until you have at least $15,000 or more in profit and assets. Okay, some will say 75,000. My accountant/tax attorney said 15. Now that's because you can multiply it over and over again. The taxes will be really, really low based off that threshold. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a certified financial advisor or any of that. I'm just a guy that went to business school, took a crap load of finance, and had a lot of good teachers that made a gazillion dollars. And I'd love to share what they taught with me with the rest of the world for you. Thank you very much. My name is Lex the Illusionist. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and hope you enjoy watching everything I have, and go check out a couple of magic videos. I really hope you love them, and I really hope that anybody watching this truly, truly benefits from the financial advice and any other advice that I can give that is within the scope of what I'm legally allowed to. I do not have a license, just disclaimer, so take this at your own risk. But I love to share the things that I've learned, because for many, many years, I've thrown $100, $10, $50 here and there, and figured out what works, what doesn't work, what I like, what doesn't like, and the little differences with the guidance of a few advisors. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic night and a fantastic day. Thank you very much. Good day.